Hey, yeah, that's me right there. You might be wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, to get to that, we first need to head back to the start. It all started with waking up in some random room and I pulled a dead guy's finger. Turns out this place is actually called the Chapel of Anticipation, whatever that means. The only way forward after that is to run over a bridge towards a cemetery and well... yeah. So I get used and abused by Mr. Mime for just a little bit of time, until the local resident tells me where to go and get my shit together. Naturally, I don't question his directions and I jump down the big hole next to him, where I find a site of grace and touch it, because if there's anyone who needs an ounce of grace after that kerfuffle, yeah, it's me. After my rest, it's back on my feet, and it's time to learn the basics of combat. Hit it, Jimmy! Eventually I come across my first worthy enemy, bearing a shield, and we treat this like a multi-million-dollar boxing match, aka
sharing the love.
I can't resist knocking the archer off the bridge as payback, and then I learn a lesson about why you should block attacks. It's okay though, because I stab him back twice as hard, with an axe. After that, it's into the long grass to prove that my sneaking is top tier. One more quick kill, and then I find this neat little statue. If I die, I can choose to spawn here instead of the bonfire. Grace fire. Now that's done, it's time for the first fight. Which I immediately lose. Now it's time for the real fight. A quick roll to the right hand side and I land some nasty hits. However, he prefers to show me the back of a hand. I completely mess my roll up, he misses his thrust attack, I repay the slap from before, he strikes the ground, and I ready my axe. And like that, my first boss is dead. Like a wise man once said, thank fuck that's over. Let's open a big door, find a bonfire, and keep going. No, I don't have a key for this, and I also forget to loot the corpse. I'll make sure to come back for that another time. After all my troubles, I arrive at a door that I haul open. Ladies and gentlemen, let it be my pleasure to introduce you to the world of Elden Ring. As I take my first steps into Limgrave, I head to the grace fire in front of me, and then talk to some chap wearing a mask.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Who immediately goes for the very low blow. Naturally, I waste no time and decide instead I need to get out and see the world and what awaits me. To absolutely no one's surprise, all that awaits me is death. Since Mr. Horsey doesn't plan on making any friends anytime soon, I instead decide to go for the scenic tour and around the left-hand side. In the north, I find some ruins of an old church, with Santa working his day job. Apparently the economy crashed. Who would have seen that one coming? So instead of giving stuff away for free, he charges runes for them. Oh, right, runes. This is your currency, you get them from killing enemies and stuff like that. Carry on. Another grace point found, unlocking the ability to fast travel between grace sites, within reason of course, and I head off to the east, killing another soldier just to show my stable mental state. Clearing the trees, I find my first worthy challenge. Ruins teeming with soldiers in armor, wolves, and a guy with a funny hat. Me being the big brave dumb soul I am, thinks the frontal attack is the best way to go. And it goes about as well as you'd expect. Also, the rooster wielding the spear is a massive I'm back, bitches, and now I have a personal vendetta. In the midst of having the worst time of my life, this chick called Melina comes to me in the middle of the night and proposes to be my maiden. See guys, it's just that easy. Oh, and she gives me a horse to summon as well. By the way, it's about this time while playing I actually discover it reads Grace. Instead I thought I was touching grass this entire time. This isn't a joke by the way. Anyway, I go back to complete my rampage against the ruins, and this time... After an absolute bloodbath, I stood alone, the sole victor, ready to claim my loot. A ground stomp.
Bruh.
Do you know what else is even better than that? When you rest at a grace fire, enemies respawn. Oh, you absolute mother. After questioning my existence and having a nervous breakdown, I decide to head on through the gate ahead. I decide I'm no longer welcome here, so instead I go off to explore the landscape, and I even find a spirit spring. And almost on cue, I find not one, not two, but a whole bunch of trolls. After landing a blow that quite frankly was about as satisfying as inserting a fully grown cactus inside my nose, I bail out and look for new purpose in life. As a sub-note of that, did you know that trolls can climb down cliff sides? Yeah, neither did I. I discover a pretty cool looking statue, before adding yet another death to the counter. Oh hey, this place again. Man, I totally missed you guys. Anyway, I head back into the forest in which I came from, and I find the Groveside Cave, complete with a point of grace, and finding several woofers who take turns nibbling at my kneecaps. Apparently I smell like kibble. The next few attempts further emphasize this, but after killing a few good boys, I walk away with a cracked pot and some fireflies. Finding a fork, I check the right this time, and I walk into a random boss fight with this pretty princess. And you know what? No fluffing around. I'll let you guys see me figure this fight out in real time. You might want to bite the pillow, because this is gonna be painful. And like that, another boss has once again been slain. My reward for the fight is a Flame Drake Talisman, a shield that gives fire resistance, and a portal that takes me back to the start of the cave.
Beam me up, Scotty.
So here I actually forgot to record the video for the next hour. Audio is fine. Absolute amateur. So here's what roughly happens. I find a cave, kill some annoying little gargoyles that hide on the ceiling, die, murder every gargoyle in the vicinity, find a cat statue boss that has some bullshit instant lock-on attacks that nearly results in me breaking my controller, die a few more times, and after sheer determination, enough swearing to make a sailor blush, and developing a brain aneurysm from screaming, the statue dies, and a well-deserved teabag is handed out. A quick travel back to the church to level up, and I think it's time to marry my cousin, because we're heading south. Okay, real talk, did I mention that exploring in Elden Ring is actually addicting? Seriously, it might be one of the most immersive worlds I've encountered in years.
Eat shit, Ubisoft.
Speaking of which, this lake is picturesque and oddly beautiful to look at. Did you know a dragon also calls it home? And after being thrown around, I now call him Daddy. Admittedly, I explore for several more hours finding bats, armies fighting, and a bridge guarded by the most unwelcoming of gentlemen, with a massive crossbow. Someone's overcompensating. After getting slapped about and taking revenge on a troll, it was about this time I found an elevator that went down. Now all we need is some LSD. When the elevator reaches its destination, I find myself in Sophie's River, deep underground amongst the ruins of an old civilization and staggering beauty. But after getting lost for a period of time, I instead fast travel back to Limgrave, blowing through the blockade at the gate, ending a musician's career faster than Napster ever did, and finding a golden seed, which allowed me to carry more health potions. Not long after, I stumble upon a circle on the ground. I think it looks pretty cool, so I run up and touch it. However, inside lies a Crucible Knight who instead touches me. He repeatedly kicks my ass so much his feet will forever smell of farts, so I cut my losses and go bully some smaller enemies to make myself feel better. This is the point I decided I needed to pursue the main story. My target is Stormveil Castle in the north, but legions of soldiers pave the way. But that's never stopped me before, right? Bring it. Once again slaughtering my way to the top, I enter the tunnel to meet my first real challenge.
Foul Tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition. Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
Yes, Margit the Fell Omen, the man single-handedly responsible for many memes, screaming, "Come on, and rage quits. He lives up to the title of Gatekeeper for a reason, and gatekeep he did. For about 4 hours, over and over, even coming deathly close to killing him, I just couldn't do it. In the end, I had enough. I was pissed, angry, defeated. In a moment of rage, I quit the game and walked away. I was done. But then, it happened. That moment when you say, just one more. So I loaded my save, sharpened my spear I took from Patches, a story for another time, and then I walked through that fog gate for the very last time. Alright, Margit, you and me, one last time. Let's do this.
offering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
Such a charming fellow. After a painstaking amount of attempts, Margit falls by my blade. Hours upon hours of frustration, exploration, joy, and good old kicks to the balls. It all led to this moment. A point of grace has never been more welcoming. When I feel ready, I leave this road behind me, and I begin my approach to Stormveil Castle. Wait, what do you mean Margit's not even the hardest boss here? Oh, you absolute mother...